Hey, I want to show you how to make these long notes with MidiEngine 3 because someone asked me how to make these long notes or variable duration notes where you have a tail, okay? So that track in question, it's like this. You have this long notes and then you have the smaller ones and you have these bigger ones, okay? These long ones. So that's what's happening here. I'm going to show you an example using the single lane template. You'll find this in MidiEngine 3.6. So what I did, I just took the 5-lane template and I simplified it so that the code is not too overwhelming for beginners. So when you start out, I recommend that maybe you should take a look at the single lane templates. So yeah, you know that we have those interfaces here and we have the spawn rhythm actor function. Okay, so by default we just do spawn the rhythm actor. So I created another rhythm actor here and it's just a plane. Okay, it's a single plane. Like I said before, the rhythm actor can be anything. It's a single plane and I wish for it to be like its x-axis values to be modified according to the Midi Note length. Okay, so that's basically what I'm doing. This is what it looks like. There's nothing else I changed. I just duplicated the one that comes with the original template and I replaced the widget with a simple plane. Okay, so in this function right here at the spawning location here, right, by default what you have is I'm plugging in, I'll show you, I'm plugging in the access transform. Okay, this is what you have by default. And you can see that we are not modifying the actor's length if you do this. So if you want to modify the actor's length according to duration, all right, so you probably want to split this. All right, this is the spawning function, and then maybe just copy the location and rotation from the actor. These two are fine. For the scale, right, if we do this, let me show you what happens. We haven't touched the scale. You can see that the nodes are a bit bigger on the y-axis, but we've lost that node length modification. So let's go back. The Y will control the width, so I want my actor to be 0.4. That doesn't change, so that's constant. In fact, let me split this too. That doesn't change, it's constant for all nodes, it's the same. Okay, so we've got the width. So now let's do the duration, which is, well, the main reason for this video. So I already have the logic here. This is the entire logic, okay? So then come in Midi Note here that you have, as you want to get its duration, okay? I'm getting the duration in beats, all right? So I have two thresholds here. Actually, I have one threshold. So if the node is short, like its duration is less than 0.1, right? I want the actor scale to be 1.0, which means it doesn't really change in terms of its length here. But if it's greater than, okay, I want the node's duration to be a factor in its length. And I'm multiplying with this factor of 10. Okay, so it's the node's duration times 10. So you can use any value here. But I set this variable here, the actor scale. So after that, the only thing I do is I plug this actor scale into the x-axis, which will modify this length. Okay. And then you have nodes with varying lengths. So I'm pressing the D key here. So, and then input handling. Okay, if you want to do input handling, it's up to you how you want to handle what happens when somebody holds the key. Do you want to score them? Do you want to give them a score the entire time the button is being held down, or only after they've held the node for a certain duration? Okay, to do that, yeah, I'm just giving hints. I'm assuming you are already familiar with enhanced input, right? So you could probably come over here and modify maybe the D key and then add a trigger here and maybe do a hold. Okay. And then modify the hold, because the hold can be one shot or it can trigger every frame. So you probably want to leave this as false. And then you want to award the score for the entire time that the user is holding down the button. I think that's how Fortnite does it. All right, so that if they lift the button early, they lose a little bit of score, but not the entire score. I mean, if they release the button early. So yeah, you decide how you handle your input, and then don't forget that after you, the second position for you to handle the input is in your event graph. Where is that? It's in your event graph, pretty much here. Okay, these two functions. So I've simplified the template to just use one lane instead of those 5 lanes, because if you're new, this template can get pretty overwhelming. So I want you to build from here. Don't worry, the 5 lanes, it's still there, so that if you understand what the single lane is doing, you can open the 5 lane and compare the two. You'll see the difference. So that's pretty much what you need to do if you want like variable note length rhythm actors.